Every man is now at his post. The next task is to capture enough ground for the gliders to land and to make sure that no enemies are near enough to bring that ground under fire. When the landing ground is secured, word is sent back to the main body by radio. The first part of the operation has passed off according to plan. And while all this has been going on, the gliders have been loading up. The immense carrying capacity of these craft makes it a simple matter to take jeep-towed 6-pounders to deal with any tanks the enemy may bring to bear on the attackers. In any case, the 6-pounder is a formidable piece of artillery in operations of this kind. It's easy to understand that all the concrete emplacements and split trenches in the world are of no more use than bows and arrows against invaders who can fly over them. Your modern British Army fights in 3 dimensions. And as the air flank is the hardest to defend, as for all practical purposes it embraces the whole sky, it's easy to understand that the airborne spearhead of the Army is a battle-winning asset. Now for the men. Embarking drill ensures that they get aboard quickly. It has taken time for the British Army to get ahead with airborne divisions, but now they have adopted this arm, it's pretty safe to say that no army, whether friend or foe, has a better one. We are built that way. Each giant glider is piloted by an army man, trained for that highly responsible job by the RAF. The twin-engine towing planes are standing by, and with the expertness born of long practice, the motorless craft hook up to the planes and are quickly hauled up into the air. Glider travel is no pleasure trip. Lacking the steadying influence of an engine, the light craft may bumpy going. Often, experienced RAF men are airsick on their first flight in a glider. But to your trained airborne man, the ordeal is nothing. He's got over it, found his air stomach, and is fit to fight the moment he touches ground. They sometimes blacken their faces, especially if landings are timed for dusk or dawn, when the less conspicuous they are, the better. One of the good points about gliders is that they can land in much less space than an airplane requires, nor does the surface, within reason, matter very much. If necessary, they can be crash landed almost anywhere. Nevertheless, accidents can happen at this stage. If a glider crashes badly, it may mean the loss, at least for the time being, of men who can ill be spared. Nothing, however, went wrong with any of the landings during the present operation. Each craft was put down skillfully. Disembarkation rapidly proceeded. The first men out made for the little copse, the objective assigned to them in the general plan. It was to be the place from which they would take the radio location center from the rear. Other sections, with objectives more open to enemy observation, began by camouflaging themselves. Note that the camouflage had to be obtained on the spot, or it would not have been of the right kind and color. As much as possible of surprise must be preserved in this as in all military operations. If the enemy has already discovered that he is being attacked, he can still be kept unaware of the strength of the invading force and of the quarters from which the assaults are developing. When all companies are on the ground and have proceeded to first action stations, their commanders assemble at the Pier Range rendezvous to receive further directions from the colonel. So far, everything has gone as smoothly as if the enemy did not exist. But this is only the beginning. The ticklish part of the business will be decided in the next half hour. It is essential that every man in every company must thoroughly understand what is required of him.
All here, A, B, C, D, S, mortars. Right. The enemy are holding that hill in front. If you use your glasses, you'll be able to pick them up. You'll see one post to the right edge of that long hedge. Machine gun post on that timber line on the right. The two posts in that low hedge. We will capture that hill and destroy the enemy that are holding it. 3-inch mortars will put down 1.5 minutes intense rate fire on the forward slope of that hill. They will then lift for 1 minute to that wood over there. Is that understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, let's get moving.
Radio sets the main action going. Each section of each company goes to it to form one concerted assault. The 3-inch mortar is one of the most useful weapons developed in the present war. Quickly set up, light enough to be taken anywhere a foot soldier can go, lobbing a 10-pound bomb with the blast and destructive power of light artillery. The mortars are now within range of the village. All of them are brought to bear on the target.